The idea of food chains and food webs in the animal kingdom is simple. Remove a link or thread, and the system is broken. But nature is complex, and it's not always clear how the absence of one species may impact others. Other times, the connection is devastatingly clear. Argentina's wild vicuñas are close relatives of alpacas and llamas. For decades, vicuñas, pumas and condors have been intrinsically connected, sustaining the high Andes ecosystem of Argentina's San Guillermo National Park. Vicuñas grazed the grass. That is, until recent years, when one by one, each of these relationships unraveled across the landscape after a mange outbreak decimated the park's vicuña population in less than 5 years. A study published in the journal Ecology Letters examines how the mange outbreak among vicuñas restructured tightly linked food chain interactions that were previously driven by pumas, also called mountain lions or cougars. This preserve is about as remote as you can get, with very little human interaction, and yet it is still not safe from human activities occurring hundreds of miles away, said co-leading author Justine Smith, as assistant professor with the UC Davis Department of Wildlife, Fish and Conservation. Pathogens can take hold quickly, leaving animals with little time to respond or adapt. We might see unintended consequences that we should be preparing for when managing at-risk populations of wildlife. Chain reaction sarcoptic mange is a highly contagious disease in which parasitic mites burrow under the skin, making it too painful to move and forage. They switched gears to study the chain reaction of the disease outbreak in 2015. Researchers and field technicians also collected data on vicuña densities, mange prevalence and puma hunting behavior. Their findings show that introduced disease can cause rapid and catastrophic changes to wildlife populations and their ecosystems. The changes to the landscape were really evident even as we were collecting the data to confirm these patterns, said co-leading author Julia Monk, a Ph.D. candidate at Yale School of the Environment. Tiny mite. Big changes before the outbreak. Pumas had been the biggest threat to vicuñas, whose grazing strategy was designed around avoiding them. But the tiny mite turned out to be the much bigger threat. The study found that vicuñas plummeted from more than 17 individuals per square kilometer before the outbreak, to 1 per square kilometer by 2020. The authors know that at least one puma they monitored starved to death, though puma sightings remained common throughout the study. We don't really know how or if these systems will recover, Smith said. Will they return to the system we knew, or will a new balance emerge from these dynamics? It's hard to predict. The scientists say the study also highlights the importance of baseline monitoring, basic research and supporting the capacity of scientists outside the United States. Continuing to support our colleagues in Argentina who have worked for decades to understand and protect this unique system will be vital for tracing the continuing effects of the disease and for promoting the ecosystem's recovery, Monk said. Additional co-authoring institutions include Fundación Rewilding Argentina, INIBIOMACONICET in Argentina, University of Wisconsin-Madison, Smithsonian National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute, Universidad Nacional de La Plata in Argentina, and UC Berkeley. The research was supported by the National Geographic Society, Yale University, UC Berkeley, CONICET and other conservation organizations. Julia D. Monk, Justine A. Smith, Emiliano Donadio, Paula L. Perrig, Ramiro D. Crego, Martin Faleni, Owen Bitter, Sergio A. Lambertucci, Jonathan N. Powley, Oswald J. Schmitz, Arthur D. Middleton. Cascading effects of a disease outbreak in a remote protected area. Ecology Letters, 2022. doi. 10.1111, LA. 13983 University of California, Davis. https://ift. tt. 60 rgj 79. Accessed March 8, 2022. Please support my channel to grow by pressing subscribe button and the bell icon. We will notify you technological news. Thank you.